When the family finally got rid of Grandma, they celebrated. They had no idea she had already taken everything that mattered. Everyone in town thought Evelyn Carter was harmless. She spoke softly. She moved slowly. She apologized too often. People assumed that meant she was weak. They were wrong. Evelyn wasn't weak. She was patient. Evelyn was 72 years old, widowed for over a decade, a retired school librarian, the kind of woman who remembered birthdays and favorite foods. After her husband passed, her son Daniel insisted she move in with his family. "You won't be alone, Mom." At first, it felt like love. Daniel's house was warm. Grandkids hugged her. Dinner was loud. Laughter filled the rooms. Evelyn cooked. She cleaned. She helped quietly. She didn't want to be that burden. She wanted to earn her space. It started small. Her daughter-in-law, Rachel, began making decisions for her. "I'll handle your mail. You don't need to worry about bills. This is easier for everyone." Evelyn nodded. She trusted them. That was her first mistake. Her room changed. Her favorite chair disappeared. Her books were boxed up. Her routine was interrupted. Rachel smiled while doing it. "We just need space." Evelyn smiled back, but something inside her folded. One Sunday evening, friends visited. Rachel joked loudly. "Evelyn forgets things. We basically have to babysit her." Laughter filled the room. Evelyn froze. She hadn't forgotten a thing. She remembered every word, every laugh, every glance. She lowered her eyes and smiled. Evelyn didn't confront them. She didn't cry. She simply observed. People who underestimate you often reveal their worst selves, and Evelyn was taking notes. Rachel suggested something new. "For safety, we should manage your money." Daniel hesitated. Evelyn spoke calmly. "If it helps the family." That sentence changed everything. Evelyn signed documents, not because she didn't understand, but because she did. She read every line. She asked quiet questions. She memorized names. Phone calls stopped. Friends were busy. Church visits ended. Invitations vanished. Rachel explained it away. "You need rest." Evelyn sat by the window, watching seasons change. One night, Rachel snapped, "You don't contribute anymore." Silence filled the room. Daniel said nothing. The grandchildren watched. Evelyn stood slowly. "You're right." She went to her room and smiled. That night, Evelyn didn't sleep. She planned. Not revenge fueled by anger, but justice fueled by clarity. She would leave on her terms. The next morning, Evelyn changed. She was kinder, quieter, grateful. Rachel relaxed. Daniel felt relieved. They thought the problem was solved. At breakfast, Evelyn said, "I found a place." Shock, confusion, relief poorly hidden. Rachel hugged her. "We'll miss you." Evelyn smiled. "I know." No arguments, no drama. Just one suitcase, one soft smile at the door, and then she was gone. 3 weeks later, a certified letter arrived, and that's when they realized Evelyn hadn't just left the house, she had left them exposed. They thought Grandma leaving solved everything. But 3 weeks later, the letter arrived. It came on a Wednesday morning, a thick envelope, certified mail. Rachel frowned when she saw it. "Who still sends letters like this?" she muttered. Daniel signed for it without thinking. That was mistake number 1. They opened it at the kitchen counter. No greeting card, no apology.
just legal language. Rachel skimmed at first, then slowed, then reread the same paragraph. Her face drained of color. "Daniel," she whispered. "What?" he asked, annoyed. She slid the letter toward him. It wasn't a lawsuit. Not yet. It was a notification. Evelyn Carter had revoked all financial permissions, removed Daniel as emergency contact, filed an affidavit of independent residence, transferred ownership of specific assets into a trust, effective immediately. Daniel's hands trembled. "That's impossible," he said. "She wouldn't even know how—" Rachel snapped. "Don't say that." Because suddenly, they weren't sure anymore. That evening, the house felt wrong. Too quiet. Too exposed. No soft footsteps, no humming from the kitchen. Daniel noticed it first. He opened the fridge. Leftovers were gone. Not spoiled. Gone. Rachel realized next. Laundry baskets were full. She stood there, staring at them. For the first time, she missed being helped. Daniel called Evelyn. Straight to voicemail. He tried again. Nothing. Rachel watched silently. "Maybe she's busy," Daniel said. Rachel didn't answer. She was thinking. Evelyn, weeks earlier, sitting in a small rental room. Sunlight on bare walls. A single chair. A single suitcase. She wasn't scared. She felt light. Back home, their neighbor stopped by. "Where's your mom?" she asked Daniel. "She moved out," Rachel answered quickly. The neighbor smiled awkwardly. "Oh, she stopped by yesterday." Rachel stiffened. "What?" "She looked wonderful," the neighbor said. "So confident." That word hit hard. Another envelope arrived. This one thinner. Inside was a handwritten note. Not angry, not emotional, just clear. "I needed space to remember who I am before I forgot completely." Rachel crushed the paper. "She's playing games," she snapped. But her voice shook. Daniel couldn't sleep. He replayed moments. Every time he stayed silent, every joke he didn't stop, every time he chose peace over truth. Rachel noticed his distance. "You're blaming me," she accused. Daniel finally looked at her. "No," he said quietly. "I'm blaming myself." That scared her. Evelyn joined a community center. She volunteered at a local library. Children listened to her stories. Adults asked her advice. She spoke clearly, confidently. She was visible again. Daniel received one more letter. This one hurt the most. "I raised you to be kind, but kindness without courage becomes neglect." He folded the paper slowly. Rachel watched. "You're going to leave me too," she said. Daniel didn't answer. Rachel learned through social media. A photo. Evelyn standing with a group, smiling, alive. The caption read, "Never too late to start over." Rachel slammed the phone down. "You pushed her out," Daniel said. "I helped her. She was old." Daniel snapped. "She was lonely." Silence. That truth landed hard. Rachel tried calling Evelyn. Blocked. She sent emails. No response. For the first time in her life, Rachel wasn't in control. Evelyn sat with a legal advisor. Calm, prepared. "This isn't about punishment. It's about boundaries." The advisor nodded. "You're doing the right thing." Evelyn smiled. "I know." Back at Daniel's house, another envelope arrived. This one wasn't addressed to him. It was addressed to Rachel. Rachel stared at it. hands shaking. Daniel whispered, "What did she do?" Rachel swallowed hard. "I think," she said, "I think she finally stopped protecting us."
They thought Grandma leaving was the end. They were wrong. It was only the beginning. Rachel didn't open the envelope right away. She stared at it for a long time. Her name printed neatly. No anger, no threat, just finality. Daniel watched from across the room. "Well?" he asked. Rachel swallowed and opened it. Inside was a single page, typed, clean, cold. "Rachel, I've spent a long time asking myself where I went wrong. The answer is simple. I stayed where I wasn't wanted, hoping love would return. It didn't. So I chose myself." Rachel's hands began to shake. She kept reading. "You won't hear from me again. Not because I hate you, but because peace doesn't survive where respect never lived." Rachel dropped the letter. For the first time, she felt small. "She cut us off," Rachel whispered. Daniel didn't respond. "She really cut us off," Rachel repeated louder. Daniel finally spoke. "No," he said quietly. "She freed herself." That sentence felt heavier than any argument. Days passed. Rachel became defensive. Daniel became distant. The house felt empty in a new way. Not quiet, hollow. Rachel tried to justify herself. "I was trying to protect our family," she said. Daniel looked at her. "From what?" he asked. "Kindness?" She had no answer. Across town, Evelyn sat in a circle of strangers. She was laughing, really laughing. Someone asked her, "Do you regret leaving your family?" The room went silent. Evelyn thought for a moment. "No," she said gently. "I regret staying silent for so long." Heads nodded. People understood. Rachel tried one last time. She used a different number. It rang, then voicemail. Rachel spoke quickly, voice breaking. "Evelyn, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't think—" She stopped. Because even she knew it was too late. Evelyn listened to the voicemail. She didn't delete it. She didn't respond. She simply turned off the phone. Some apologies arrive after the damage is done. That night, Daniel packed a bag. Rachel stood in the doorway. "You're leaving," she said flatly. Daniel nodded. "I need to figure out who I am and why I stayed quiet." Rachel laughed bitterly. "So she wins?" Daniel paused. "No," he said. "She survives," and walked out. Months passed. Seasons changed. Evelyn grew roots in her new life. She mentored kids. She helped other seniors. She spoke openly about dignity. Her voice mattered again. One afternoon, a young woman approached Evelyn. "My mom says you helped her," she said. "She said you saved her." Evelyn smiled. "I just reminded her she wasn't invisible." The young woman hugged her, and Evelyn felt something close to peace. Rachel's life didn't explode. It shrank. Friends faded. Daniel didn't come back. The house stayed quiet. Every silence reminded her of the woman she underestimated. Evelyn wrote one last letter. Not to Daniel, not to Rachel, to herself. "I will never apologize for taking up space again." She folded it carefully and smiled. Evelyn sat by a window at sunset, a cup of tea in her hands. Someone asked her, "What's the hardest lesson you learned?" Evelyn answered softly, "That being needed isn't the same as being loved." They thought Grandma leaving was weakness.
They were wrong. It was the bravest thing she ever did. If this story made you think, like the video. If it made you feel something, share it. And if you believe no one should feel invisible, subscribe.